Okay, so yeah, so as always, I just want to invite you to practice with kindness to your body, to your mind, and sometimes that also means just allowing for whatever is. I was having a conversation with a really good friend of mine yesterday who is also a yoga teacher, and we were both really irritated about things that someone else had done, and we were having this discussion about, yoga is not about just being zen and peaceful all the time, but actually it's about allowing. So allowing that human experience. Okay, I feel angry about this, and actually just allowing that, and then allowing it to pass. Because of course, if we push and block what we're feeling, then that actually just bottles it more, right? And it will eventually. I actually wrote a blog for the Fertility Partnership, and I think that went up this past week. So if you head over to their blog, I wrote something really similar to this topic, which was about how when we surrender, when we suffer, when we just accept that we are suffering, it actually makes it a lot easier. This is heavy. I know these are heavy topics, but yeah, things I've learned in my life anyway. So we're going to start with gentle yoga, and we'll start with some breathing, and then we will move into some warm-ups and some stretches. We'll just see where we go with this. As always, listen to your body. Just do what feels right to you. It's not power yoga, and we avoid the poses that we need to particularly avoid when we're looking at IVF. So, okay. Right, guys. So for the centering and breathing, just find either a seated position or lie down. It's really up to you. If you do lie down, you can lie down in one of two ways. You can either just lie flat on your back with your legs out, or you can bend your knees, and that is easier if you have any lower back sensitivities. Okay. And if you're sitting, just sit up tall, grounding through the sits bones, elongating the spine. You can sit on the floor or a block or a cushion, just whatever feels right to you. And then once you've found that centering position, take a few rolls of your shoulders. Inhale, roll your shoulders up, and exhale them down and back. And again. And one more. And just relax the shoulders down. Close your eyes. And take a few deep inhales through the nose, with exhales sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. And just do that a few times. Inhaling calm. Exhaling, sighing out, letting go. Any stress or any tension. And just one thing to note, If you hear external sounds, so things like the bells on my cat's collar, or if the dogs or the cats make any noise, or if on your end you experience any external sounds, see if you can just let it be vibration, just accepting things as they are, acknowledging them as they are. And then take the awareness and just bring it to your face and start to soften through the face. And relax down through the brow, over the corners of the eyes and the corners of the mouth. Loosen the jaw. Take that same awareness, bring it down to your hands. Relax and soften through the hands. And close your eyes. They should hopefully still be closed, but if they're not, just keep them closed or let them close again. And draw your hands together, just into prayer in front of your heart. And start to rub your palms. So you're just trying to bring some heat into your hands. And if you have notoriously cold hands, it's okay. Just do the best that you can here. And then, assuming your hands are clean, COVID friendly to touch your face, take your palms and just bring them over your closed eyes. And just sigh out. And if you're sitting upright, just let the elbows tuck in towards your chest and your head fall into your hands. And if you're lying down, just let the palms rest over the eyes naturally. And just sigh out a couple more times. And then gently roll your hands away. And let your palms relax down. And I want you just to take a few very deep breaths there. So start to inhale through the nose and take the breath down into the belly so that the belly rises with the inhale. Exhale out the nose and feel the belly roll back toward the spine. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And then deepen the breath further. Inhale through the nose, fill up, belly ribs, chest, expanding all the way up through the inhale. Exhale out the nose, chest, ribs, and belly contract. So you're coming through that dirga breath, that basic form of pranayama. So we inhale through the nose. Again, just fill up belly, ribs, chest, and exhale, contract, chest, ribs, and belly. Take just a few more deep breaths here. And start to mentally ready yourself for movement. And just in your own time and in your own way, draw some movement back into your body. Just let yourself stretch, roll around, yawn, sigh. Do whatever you need. And we're actually going to start from the back today. I feel like it's been a while since we've started from the back. But just before we do, I've had one message asking me a particular question about targeted fertility treatment with regards to ovulation. So I'm not a medic. And so these are things definitely to ask a physician. With regards to yoga and IVF and ovulation, what we know about yoga and IVF and ovulation are a combination of speculation and knowledge about the anatomy. So we know that certain poses might cause more blood flow, for example, to certain parts of the body. We also know very clearly with IVF treatments that when we help release stress, when we are less stressed, when we have lower cortisol levels, we know that is beneficial in that process. And so when we're talking about yoga and IVF, unfortunately, you can't really have particular, there's no clear-cut study, right? Like this pose is going to do this. I wish it were like that. But again, what we know is that yoga for stress relief, and also just to make sure that we're doing a safe type of yoga for IVF, and also yoga that can help stimulate blood flow to certain areas and open up certain areas and relieve stress. These are all things that we look at when we're looking at fertility yoga. Okay. So any questions about things like ovulation treatments? Is definitely for your doctor. So I have a master's degree in literature and medicine, but that is as far as it goes. So it's like medical humanities. So definitely ask your doctors that. Okay, let's come down onto the back, and we're just going to enjoy each other's company and relaxing together. as always. So yes, so coming down onto your back, just either two options. You can either bend your knees, and that again is better if you have lower back sensitivities, or you can extend your legs all the way out and just letting them flop and splay. Okay, so just find what feels right to you there. And actually, rather than extend them out, letting them flop and splay, bring them to hip distance. So legs either at hip distance extended or knees bent if that feels better to the lower back. And take a shoulder roll here. And just relax then the shoulders down, but lift the arms up to the sky. And then I want you to relax the shoulders and bend your elbows, taking hold of opposite elbows in opposite hands. And we're going to take an inhale here and exhale. Draw your right elbow down toward the right side, letting the left shoulder lift. So that right elbow is just acting like an anchor. Should feel good, hopefully. And then inhale back through center. And exhale over to the other side. So left elbow acting as an anchor, right shoulder lifting and being drawn across. And then inhale, take the arms back through center. Reach your hands up into the sky, interlace your fingers, pointing your index fingers and your thumbs. And we're going to draw the arms down to the sides of the head. If you can, extend the legs out here, just because I think it feels a little nicer, but unless you have a sore back, in which case knees stay bent is fine, staying bent is fine. So we're going to inhale and take a long stretch. And then exhale, slide and walk the shoulders to the right. So we are starting to then open up the intercostal muscles between the ribs. You can even walk the legs a little to the right as well. So this is our supine half moon, Supta Ardha Chandrasana. And then inhale, slide and walk back through center. Take a nice long stretch. And exhale, slide and walk the shoulders over to the left. And then we are going to feel that opening through the right side of the body now. And you can also walk the legs a little toward the left as well. Now, when we open those intercostal muscles between the ribs, this actually allows us to breathe more deeply. So when we're talking about things like stress relief, deep breathing is super important, right? We all know that. We all know we tend to feel better when we take deep breaths. We just are sort of conditioned and forget this often and get to the point where we have to. But when we're talking about wanting to breathe more deeply, even just taking a few side stretches and then breathing deeply will help you even further to just bring all that oxygen into the body. All right, inhale, slide and walk back through center. Take a nice long stretch here. Okay. And then unwind, bring your arms up into the sky. And I just want you to draw both knees into your chest. So take your right hand to your right knee, left to your left, okay? And then we're going to draw the knees down toward the belly and then swing the legs away from each other. You can keep your big toes together or you can let them separate out a little. It just depends on what feels right to you. And then I want you to roll the knees back together up and then down, out, and back up. And just do a few like this. So what we're doing here is we are increasing the synovial fluid in the hip joint. That's the lubricant of the hip joint. So if you have stiff hips, this is a great one to do just a few minutes every day. And then take it the other way. Okay, one more. Okay, and take it all the way back through center. And then I want you to interlace your fingers, bring them over your right shin and flex your right foot. Swing your left leg up into the sky. Flex that foot, really lift up through the heel. And just breathe into it. And then exhale, take that left leg all the way down. Keep the feet flexed, right knee coming in toward the chest. And just breathe there. Nice hip flexor stretch. Swing your left leg back up into the sky. And then we're going to interlace the fingers over that left shin. Take your right leg, stretch it up, flex. Exhale. Draw it all the way down. And just breathe, breathe, breathe. Inhale, take it all the way up. And then exhale, release both knees down toward your chest, unwind your fingers, and take the soles of the feet down onto the ground. Bring your heels up toward your bottom, as close as is comfortable, but again, just go to the point that's comfortable without wrenching on your knees. Draw your arms to the sides of your body, and you're going to start to press through your feet. And I want you to really feel that foundation of the earth underneath. So we feel the ball, the side, the heels of each foot pressing down, connecting to the ground. And then we inhale, we lift the hips, lift the pelvis, lift the arms. And exhale, slowly release. And again. Take two more. So you just inhale and lift. And exhale down. Okay. And then relax the shoulders down. And I want you to start to, again, really press through the feet. And then we inhale, we lift the hips, lift the pelvis, and be aware of what your knees are doing right now. Sometimes they kind of go in like you have to pee, and then the hips drop, or likewise, they tip out to the sides. I want you to really just keep lifting them up here. So that it's as if the knee were in a direction, it would be pointing toward your second toe, okay? And then interlace your fingers under your body. And I'm just gonna take off this super chunky sweater because I can't really demonstrate that pose very well. Okay, and then we're going to walk the shoulder blades in so that the shoulders are hugging the spine. And we take it up into a bridge pose, into Setu Bandhasana. So again, when we're talking about what poses are beneficial for what. So Satyabandhasana and really any back bend, obviously we're working on leg strengthening here, but internal and a back bend. But internally, this is good for your adrenal glands. This is good for your thyroid gland. And of course, when we're talking about the adrenals and the thyroid, we can easily start to talk about their relationship to stress and to strain. So something like this, again, a good stimulant for both the thyroid and the adrenals in a positive way. Okay. So we're going to take another breath here. Okay. And then I actually want you to exhale and take your knees a bit wide, but keep the arms where they are. You're pushing down and you're rolling into the outside edges of your feet. We're going to do one move that's going to work you a little bit, but we can do that every now and then, right? So we're going to take an inhale here now with your legs out at that butterfly. And then I want you to exhale, and you can exhale blowing the air out of the mouth, and you drive it back up into bridge. So we inhale, take it down, but we're not falling, right? We're not falling into the hands. We're still pushing through the outside edges of the feet and squeezing the shoulders. And we exhale. And we just take a few of these with control. So we're working the hips and the lower back. We go 5 more. One more. Take it up. Unwind. Unwind your shoulders. Take your back down to the earth and gently draw both knees back into the chest. Hug your legs. Take a moment to sigh it out. And then take your hands up between your legs, reaching for the insides of your feet. And you're going to then tip your knees down toward the sides of your chest, letting the soles of the feet tip up to the sky. So we're doing a pretty big hip opener here. So we've talked about this in over many weeks in the past, that hip openers are pretty important for women when we're talking about IVF and just all the good things that hip openers do for the female body. And then on an energetic level, the hips are kind of like the junk drawer emotionally of the body. We store a lot of crap in the hips. So just starting to shift some of that can also be helpful. So if you want to take it further and it feels okay to you, you can wrap your elbows under your knees and then take your hands to the outsides of your feet. So it's like a vine crawling around your legs. But if this does not feel okay, come back to the previous option. And we're just going to take a few more breaths here and just breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay. For those of you also going through an embryo transfer phase, that is a particularly good pose, but if that feels too, so the happy baby, where we just were, that is a good pose. Or the just taking hold, if that feels like it's too much, you can just take hold of the knees or the shins and just draw the knees a bit more toward the armpits and flex the feet. That's also a great pose when we're talking about things like embryo transfers. Okay. Oh, and let's inhale and just take the arms and the legs momentarily up into the sky and just give everything a little shake. Just shake it out. And I want you just to do that just for 2 more seconds. Okay. And then take the knees down, cross your ankles, Tuck the chin in toward your chest and gently rock yourself all the way up. I should have brushed my hair before class, right? Rock yourself all the way up to a seated position. But then once you come up to seated, we're actually gonna go forward. So just take your hands out over your legs. And then from here, just walk yourself back into Garbhasana, taking your bottom back toward your heels, belly over or between the thighs, forehead down. And just relax down. And again, sigh it out. And then lift the head, lift the heart. And we're going to come up into I'm just making sure, okay, it's going quick tonight at the time. Okay, we're going to come up into a downward facing dog. So what I would like you to do is you're going to come up onto your fingertips out in front of you and spread your fingers wide, just as wide as you can, so that you have a lot of surface area under the hands. Because if your hand was like that, you have all that space underneath your hand, in which case the weight of your body is going to go into your wrist rather than through the full hand. And we want to support the wrist by, again, spreading those fingers out. Okay, roll up toward your hands, curl your toes under behind you, send your hips back, roll the shoulders back, and just take a brief walk of your dog, bending one foot and then the other. I seem to have a super slippery sock, so if you are like me, just do what you need to do so that you're not falling over. So you're just bending one knee and then the other, walking out that downward dog. Okay, and then send the hips back, roll the shoulders back, squeeze under your armpits. And then you're going to inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend that right knee, pointing the right toes over to the left side. So you're trying opening that hip. If you are worried, the person who messaged me about the open twist, just keep this in three-legged dog, just with the legs straight up instead. Okay, inhale, lift that right leg up. And then I want you to exhale, bend the right knee into your chest and take the foot forward. So you're bringing it toward a lunge, okay? And you can help that foot forward as well. And we're going to take the fingertips either side of that right leg, bend the right knee in line with the ankle, roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest. It all just got a little harder, didn't it? We're going to inhale. Exhale, flatten out the left hand against the ground or make a fist with it against the ground. And then inhale, swing your right arm up to the sky. Exhale. Take your right hand down to the inside of your right foot. So then we have left hand, right foot. Draw the left knee down. Toe the left leg back as far as you can. Roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest. So again, with those hips, we feel that left hip flexor. Okay. Now, I'm going to have you do something in just a moment, but it may end up that you turn out a little from your screen. So unfortunately, with technology, we're just going to have to do what we can do. You might have to move your screen or yourself, but we'll see. Okay, so curl your left toes under behind you. Lift that left leg back up. And then I want you to pivot so that you are walking to the left side of your mat. Sorry, I'm putting my bum in your face, but okay. So you are going to, I'm going to turn myself around because it's just too awkward. Okay, so what you are doing is you're walking toward the center of your mat and you're turning all of your toes to face forward. And then I want you to, or I guess to the side, which is now forward. And you're going to press through your feet, bring your chest up, bring your arms up, take an inhale. And then lift all the way up to the sky. Ignore the fact that I'm headless. I'll be back in frame in just a second. And then exhale, release your arms down. Okay, now I want you to just make sure that your feet are in the same plane. So ignore the fact that I sort of use both my rug and my yoga mat. You just need to make sure your feet are in the same plane. So it might have been that one foot was slightly out in front of the other. Okay, so just again, do framing. And then from here, we've got, again, both feet squared forward, but now I want you to turn your heels slightly inward. So now your toes are pointing out, heels in. So we're coming to a bit of a V with the feet. Okay, inhale, take the arms up. And exhale, bend your elbows, bend your knees, and you're going to drop it down. But I want you to avoid the sort of American football. And by the way, I'm totally with you that soccer is really football. I'm on board with that, okay? So we're gonna avoid like this weird American football stance. We really want to drop the sits bones down, drop down through the tailbone, engage with the legs. This is goddess pose or Devyasana. So we take an inhale here, exhale, and then inhale, take it up to a 5-pointed star. So you take the arms out, stretch the legs, and exhale down. Back into Devyasana. Again, avoid the lean forward, but you want to be just nice and strong. Inhale here. One more. Okay. This time, take your hands down onto your knees and just, you can relax into the hands. So your body shouldn't be working too hard here. Now, you're going to take your right shoulder, swing it down towards your left knee, and starting to look up past that left shoulder. So we're just getting, again, a very gentle shoulder opener. And then inhale through center and exhale to the other side. And again, if you're worried about the open twist, you can give this part a miss. Inhale back through center. And for anyone, if you're thinking, oh, should I worry about open twists? No, I mean, there's no scientific or theoretical reason that you should worry about the open twists. It's just about what you're comfortable with, okay, guys? So you be comfortable, you know, that's all it is. This is time for you and your body, okay? So you're going to push through your feet. Inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, take your arms out to a T. And just to say, sorry, I've just replayed what I just said. Maybe you know your body. I mean, you definitely do. And maybe you have an intuitive understanding that that's not something you should do right now. Perfect. Always listen to that, okay? So then from here, we're going to turn the toes and face them forward. So you're squaring your toes forward again. If you have lower back pain, turn your toes even slightly in. So you're reversing that V. So you're making sort of that pigeon toe thing, yeah? So if you have lower back pain, otherwise toes just squared forward. And we're going to inhale here and exhale, fold. Hinge forward from the hips, hang the head, hang the arms. And just sigh it out. And give your head a few shakes, yes. And a few shakes, no. And again, yes, yes, yes. And no, no, no. Just letting the head hang nice and heavy there. Okay. Take another breath here. And just to say, anytime that you are in a forward fold, so whether it's like this, sorry, a standing forward fold. So whether it's like this, which is a wide angle variation, or whether it's with the legs in and it's the hip distance variation, these are poses that are known to be very good for the nervous system and for relaxing the body. So if you're feeling particularly stressed, you can always take a break and just go literally hang over your legs. Just, you know, get your office to do it. Everyone can just do it together. Okay. So from here, we're going to start to walk back now toward that right leg. So we're going to pivot. So we pivot and we walk forward. So we're coming back toward that dragon or lizard. I want you to, once you're facing the front of your mat, again, draw your left knee down, take your right leg back, and you're just going to, again, take it back into Garbhasana, into a child's pose, bringing your bottom toward your heels and your belly over or between the thighs. Okay, lift the head and lift the heart. Spread your fingers out as wide as you comfortably can. And roll up towards your hands again. Curl the toes under behind you. Send your hips back. Roll your shoulders back. Take a walk of your down dog. Okay. And then push it back, full expression, downward dog. So we roll the shoulders back. We send the heels onto or toward the earth. Keep that nice long spine. Inhale, lift that left leg up. Exhale, bend your left knee, point your left toes over to the right. Oh, so you're turning and opening that left hip up to the sky. Nice long stretch through the right hamstrings. And then inhale, left leg coming back up. Exhale, bend that left knee into your chest and then take it forward. Okay, now we're going to take the fingertips either side of that left leg. We roll the shoulders back. We send that right hip flexor forward. Just take a lunge. Exhale, either flatten the right hand out or make a fist with it against the ground, depending on how your wrist feels. Then we inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, left hand comes down, and then we've got left foot, left hand, right hand, and we draw the right knee down. Toe the right toes as far back as you comfortably can. I want you to square your hips forward, roll the shoulders back. Oh. Just breathe, breathe into this dragon on this side. Take another breath here. Try to avoid the sort of falling into the hands. I want you to roll the shoulders back and keep the chest open. Okay. And then this time, rather than walk it and turn it out, let me just double check that rather than walk it and turn it out, I just want you to start to lean back. Take your left foot back again, and then bring your bottom again to your heels, belly over the thighs, forehead down, side out. Okay. And then we're going to slowly roll up so that we are sitting on the shins. And we're going to play with a transition that I'm pretty sure I have never given to you before. It's a slightly harder transition. It's a little bit trickier, but I just want you to play. Just have a play, have fun. So what we're going to do, makes you very nervous when I say that, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to lean forward so that we can curl all the toes under behind us. And actually, before we do anything else, once you've done that, just sit back into your heels, 2 breaths. Whew. So this is a fascia stretch. And that feeling in your feet, that feeling is correct. Okay. Okay. Now the transition. We're going to take the hands into prayer in front of the heart, and we lean in just slightly forward. So it's like we're praying, right? We're going into some sort of prayer, but then we roll back into our feet and come up into a low chair. And we can do that a few times. So we take the knees down and then we roll it back prayer chair. Sorry. I can't see you guys, right? So I have no idea what's happening on your end, but just have a play. That's all it is. And even if you don't get this today, it's okay. Something you can play with another time. That's really, I think, so much of what yoga is just playing in the body. So try one more. Okay. And then take an inhale. We're going to lift up through the arms. Stand all the way up. And exhale. And again. And one more. Okay. Exhale, just release the arms down. Take an inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale them down and back. Interlace your fingers behind your back. So you're squeezing the shoulders together. Okay. And then so the chest is going to pop a little bit as we do that. We're going to put a soft bend in the knees. Take an inhale. And then exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Hang the head and let those interlaced fingers hang back and away from the lower back. And then if you want to go a little deeper into this, if it feels okay to you, you can isolate a shoulder roll there. So it's as if you're stirring the air behind you with your knuckles, but you really let the head be heavy and knees and hips not invited to this party, okay? Just the shoulders. And then go the other way. Okay, and take it all the way back through center. Draw your hands down and then unwind your fingers and reverse the swan dive up to the sky. If you get it all lightheaded, just take your time. Exhale, release your arms down. And then side out. One more breath there. And then now lift the arms back up. Reach the hands up into the sky. Interlace your fingers at the top. And actually, all I want you to do here is then bring your hands behind your head. So I'll just come down so you can see this. So we're inhaling here. And then exhaling, tucking the chin in toward the chest, letting the elbows hang down. The rest of the spine is straight. So we're just stretching into the neck. Take an inhale. And then exhale. Take a slow turn, subtle turn of the head to the left. Inhale back through center. And exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Inhale center. And exhale right. Inhale center. Lift the head, lift the heart, lift the arms. Oh, and exhale, swan dive. Take it all the way down into Uttanasana, into that hip distance variation of the forward fold. So we did the wide angle variation a little earlier, and now we're doing this variation. So again, remember that forward folds are really good for relaxing your body physiologically. You can add on to this just by taking hold of opposite elbows and swaying your hips a little bit. You'll feel an extra stretch in the backs of the calves. And then take it back through center. Unwind. Bend your knees. Bring it down through a squat. And then all the way down onto your bottom, just however you can, however you need. Okay. And from here, roll it all the way down, either keeping your knees bent or extending the legs all the way out, just depending on what feels good to you. And then once you come down, just sigh out a few times. And close your eyes, letting the eyelids become heavy over the eyes. And just feel your body melting down against the ground, against the earth. And as you relax here, take a moment to check in with your body and just notice where you're feeling what. And there's no need for judgment. And notice if there are parts of your body that maybe take on your stress more than others. So we all have habits. And just intuitively ask your body, If there are parts of your body that need a little more attention, a little more loving kindness or patience from you. And just honor any responses that come to you. And maybe set the intention to just notice your body and respond lovingly to it in the coming days. Treating your body like it was your best friend or a beloved companion. How different would life be if your body was something that you loved as much as you loved those closest to you? And just mentally thank your body for this moment, for your breath, for your senses, for the fact that it keeps you alive here and now. And then draw some movement back into your fingers, into your toes. And gently roll to one side. And then bring yourself all the way back up to seated. And take your hands into prayer in front of your heart. And gently bow, honoring your body, your light, your practice in this earth. And thank you all so much for coming this evening. Just to say, so sometimes I get these lovely questions and messages from you. If you have a particular phase that you're going through in your treatment or even in your life, and you would like us to maybe focus a session more on certain things for that, just send me a message a couple days in advance, because I can tailor classes even more. So please feel free to do that. You can just go to my website, which is sanctuarygrace.com. So all one word, sanctuarygrace.com. And you can message me through there. I know some of you sign it up for the classes through there, but you actually don't have to sign up, but you can. But it's always the same Zoom link. So yeah, just have a really beautiful week. We've got 2 more weeks of these sessions before we will resume in January. But I just, yeah, that's it. Have a lovely week and a lovely start to December. And that's it. And thank you so much for all the messages. So Zach, you just asked about the new year. Yep. So just not on Christmas Eve and not on New Year's Eve, but then we're back. So, okay. I'm glad you enjoyed. Okay. Okay. So I'm just reading one of your messages right now, one of the private ones. Yeah. So what I will do is, I think some of you are interested in particular with some of the science about the poses. So I can bring in more of that, trying always to, of course, balance it so it's not just like an anatomy class. But so I will do what I can with that, bringing in, because there's actually some science that suggests that down dog, for example, is good for certain elements of IVF. And again, I'll just bring in what I can. Okay. Have a really great week, and see you next week. And sending you guys lots of love. And that's it. Have a good night. Bye.